Caleb was sitting on the park bench, his cane resting beside him, when Veva first noticed him. He wasn't like the other older men she'd encountered. His eyes sparkled with a mischievous humor, as though he was privy to a joke the world hadn't caught on to yet. "Nice day, isn't it?" Veva said, her voice bright as she stood in front of him. Caleb looked up, his smile as warm as the afternoon sun. "It would be, if not for that squirrel over there plotting my demise," he replied, nodding toward a nearby tree. Veva laughed, the sound ringing like a bell. "What did you do to upset it?" "Oh, nothing," Caleb said with a grin. "Just outsmarted it for the last piece of bread." A battle of wits, really. That was how it began. Over the weeks that followed, Veva found herself returning to the park, drawn to Caleb's sharp wit and endless supply of stories. He told her about his travels, the mistakes he'd made, and the lessons he'd learned. She was captivated not by his age, but by the wisdom he carried, wrapped in humor and charm. "You're not like anyone I've ever met," Veva admitted one day as they sat side by side on the bench. "That's because you're looking for depth in a world that celebrates the shallow," Caleb replied, his eyes softening as they met hers. Despite the 36 years between them, they shared something rare, a connection that defied logic. Caleb admired Viva's relentless curiosity and the way she never shied away from challenging him. Veva, in turn, loved how Caleb made her feel seen, not as a young woman to be lectured, but as an equal with dreams and doubts of her own. One rainy afternoon, when they sought shelter under a gazebo, Veva turned to him. "Caleb, do you ever think about what people might say about us?" "Let them talk," Caleb replied without hesitation. "They've forgotten that love isn't bound by time. It's bound by understanding." Veva smiled, her hand finding his. His touch was warm and steady, a quiet promise. As the rain pattered around them, Caleb chuckled softly. "You know, Veva, I think I finally understand why the squirrel was so persistent. When you know what you want, you don't give up." "And what is it you want?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. He met her gaze, his expression uncharacteristically serious. "You." Their laughter soon blended with the rain, filling the small gazebo with something timeless. The sound of love unafraid of age, fueled by persistence, wisdom, humor, and a spark that neither could ignore.